Hello everyone, am I audible? Am I audible? Am I visible? Any of you can type in the chat box. It will help me. Is there any background noise also? Let me know. Okay, great. I have a fan switched on. That's why I'm checking. If there's no background noise, then great. Good evening, Suhail. How are you? Hope I'm audible and visible and there's no issue with my video and audio. We'll wait for a couple of more minutes and then start off. Great. It is exactly 8 o'clock. And I think we should start off respecting the people who have come here on time rather than wait for people who have not yet joined in. Probably we'll spare 1 minute because I think the notification has been just sent out. So we'll wait for just 1 more minute and then we'll start off. I think we have enough participants now. Let us start off. People who will join, late. I think we can take it up from as and when they join. So, few things. This is a session on technical analysis. This particular session is split into two parts. First part is just those of you who are not aware of CFA. Very quick, very quick brief about CFA. There are a bunch of slides, but I will be very quick. I'll not spend too much time there. Second part is basically the technical analysis and fundamentals only. There are a lot of stuff in technical analysis. It is an unending ocean. So I'm not going to cover every single aspect. I'm going to cover very basic, simple, broad stuff. Then we'll have your Q&A session. The Q&A can be on technical analysis, or it can be as well as on the CFA related aspects. Okay, so that's the plan for the day. So let's start off. And here we go. Yeah, so first, as I said, we're starting with what is CFA and so on and so forth. I'll take not more than 10-15 minutes. The thing is, we are going to get into a bunch of aspects, or rather, I would like to discuss a few aspects which are very important. Those of you who are not aware of CFA, it is a professional certification, just like CA or CMA or ACCA. It is a professional certification that is offered by the US-based institute called CFA Institute. It has 3 levels. There are no exemptions. 3E, all the exams are online, computer-based. And there are about close to 2 lakh charter holders across 160 markets in the world who are, CFA charter holders. People who have completed CFA and have also got the charter. Charter is basically a certificate. And the best part about CFA is it is highly valued in the investment management profession. So basically in places like PE funds or fund management or, private wealth or, portfolio management, so on and so forth, this is very highly valued. As I said, 3 levels. After finishing 3 levels or along with 3 levels, you need to have 4,000 hours of work experience in the relevant field. And then you submit a few reference letters and then you get the CFA charter. The key thing from me, for me as, Sriram, when I took up CFA, the key value add that I got was basically about, the knowledge that I gained from this entire course. More than my professional qualification or more than my professional growth, I actually believe that this gave me a lot of personal growth. And it allowed me to, plan my own financials, make my own investments in markets, so on and so forth. Given the depth of the subject that you learn here, the variety of career paths open up. So if you look at in India, right, you have a lot of top employers like Ambit, Edelweiss, DSP. There's a bunch of these people recruit CFAs. For a fresher who is probably, when I say fresher, take someone who's 20 years old or 21 years old, just an undergrad, and who has level 1 and finished level 1 and or level 2 also, both of them. If you've done level 2 and are an undergrad with probably 1.5 year or 2 years experience, you can expect salary broadly between 9 to 13 lakhs. And this is not made up number. I'll show you the proof for that as well. And for people who are level 3 candidates, the salary is north of 10 lakhs. And people who have other qualifications like CA and MBA, the salary is much higher. You can see that here. Right. In India, this exam is conducted in 23 cities. 7 new cities also have been added. Now, this is a survey that they've done. And what they figured out among CFA candidates is that 83% are joining the candidate for the skills. Okay, not just purely a job-oriented activity, but for skills. And 38% is a salary increase when they move from level 1 to level 2. And a new charter holder with 6 years experience gets roughly about 28 to 29 lakhs. Right. Now, what are the basic requirements to start start preparing for CFA? First, either you should have completed bachelor's or you should be in bachelor's. If you are in bachelor's degree, then in the last year of your bachelor's degree, you can write level 1. Level 2 and level 3, you can write only after the bachelor's degree. If you've already finished bachelor's degree, then you can take up, all 3 levels after the bachelor's degree. Now, these exams are not held, they're held up one after the other. It's a sequential process. So you take roughly about 2.5 years to complete the entire 3 levels of CFA. In addition to that, the cost of CFA appears to be slightly on the higher side. But honestly, if you ask me, it is very well worth it. Because this is one course where the ROA is higher. The course itself is everything about ROA. I mean, they teach you finance, they teach you how to measure return, and the return on investment that you make on CFA education, believe me, my friends, is absolutely worth it. See, there are 3 levels. Each level, the first level, you have to pay some $350 odd when you join in as a student. And there are 2 examination windows, early registration and standard registration. Early registration is about 7 months before the exam. Standard is 3 months before the exam. If you register in standard, you have to pay about $940. If you registered in early, you have to pay about $1,250. So overall cost of the course, right? All 3 levels put together will come to roughly 5 lakhs. No need to pay upfront. You can pay it level by level. And only level 1 and level 2 cost will be roughly about 3 odd lakhs, right? This is the broad sense of, the course cost. And the relevant dates are, see, for November 23 exam, already the early registration window is closed. Now standard registration window is there, which is open for the next 8-9 days. Anyone who's planning to, write for November can register for, before 8th of May, 8th of August, I'm sorry. And February 24, the early registration window is closed on 13th of July, and the standard registration window is currently open. It will be open till 8th of November. Right. Now, in addition to this, from 2024 and 25, the CFA Institute has updated the curriculum. So level 1, level 2, new syllabus is in 24, and level 3 new syllabus is in 25. There are now self-paced modules on equity research, Python, and AI, which are at level 1 and level 2. There is a specialization choice in level 3 where you get to choose one of the electives, 3 electives, which is portfolio management, private wealth, or private markets. There is improved badging strategy, and there are additional mocks also now available on their website. In addition to all of this, there is a specific scholarship as well. What is the scholarship? So students, who are in pursuing undergrad, or students who come from, who have good academic background, but, probably facing financial difficulties, can apply for scholarships. So access scholarship is one which everyone can apply. So the entire number, what we saw earlier here, right? This, what you're seeing on the screen here, just let me point it out. This number for level 1, right? 1290 to 1600. You have to apply this before your early registration window. If you do that, that number gets reduced to $250. Same way, women can apply, they can reduce it to $350. And then there are, universities and colleges which are affiliated where they get up to $300, where the exam fee is reduced to $350 from $1,250. So there are a bunch of scholarships. Typically, the scholarship rate is about 30-35% of the students get scholarship, but it is not always certain that you will get. If you enroll with us, we will go through your application for scholarship. So basically, you have to write an essay explaining why you deserve the scholarship. So we will go through and give feedback to you why you deserve the scholarship, or so on and so forth. And we will help you try and apply for the scholarship. Now, in addition to that, the level 1 exams are held 4 times a year, level 2 3 times, and level 3 2 times. Pass percentage is between 40 to 50%. All 3 levels are MCQs. Level 1 is 180 MCQs split into 2 parts of 90 MCQs in the morning, 90 MCQs in the afternoon. When I say morning, afternoon, it's 2 sessions. And then level 2 is 44 MCQs in each session, and level 3 is a mix of MCQs and essay type questions. Level 1 is largely independent MCQs. Level 2 and level 3 are mostly case study. Vignette means case study. So they've used a word here called vignette. What is it? Yeah. So this word vignette actually means case study. Okay. So this is about that. And the course curriculum is broadly same across all 3 levels. Common topics are tested across all 3 levels. Level 1, level 2, and level 3. 3 topics are not tested in level 3, which are quant, financial statement analysis, and corporate issues. Otherwise, all of the balance 7 topics are tested in all 3 levels, and level 1 and level 2 have same set of topics. Now, the thing to note in this is the exam is single exam in which you're asked questions of multiple topics. Right. So we at OneFin provide these classes in association with Kaplan Schweser. Kaplan is a world leader. So what we provide is we provide Kaplan's online resources. Basically, the exam is a computer-based exam, and the questions that are asked are fairly tricky in that sense. So you have to do a lot of practice. Kaplan, because we are associated with Kaplan, we provide you the entire Kaplan MCQs, which are roughly about 3,000 odd MCQs for level 1. We provide you their original books. And then they also have a pass guarantee scheme or a pass protection scheme. If you don't pass, if you've completed, 80-90% of the syllabus and still don't pass, they extend it for free for you. Right. So that is what Kaplan does. And what do? We have Charterholder faculty. So I myself am a CFA Charterholder. I got my charter in 2010. And there are a bunch of my friends, batchmates, colleagues, other faculty who are all CFA Charterholders. They actually come and teach you. Most of them have expertise. What they teach is what they actually work on in their real life. So we actually get different faculty for different topics and subjects. And those faculty have genuine real life practical exposure. So we also give a free trial. So you can actually log into our website, indigolearn.com, and register on our website, and you can actually see that we have a free trial for the entire video lectures that we give, and Kaplan also gives a 7-day free trial. So both of them, the details are available on our website. You can go to the free courses section once you log in. Please register with your profile as CFA, or once you get into with any profile that you have, select the free courses as CFA as your profile, and then automatically the free courses will be visible. Right. So we teach for about 120, 130 hours. We give notes, we give formula sheets, we give mocks, we give a bunch of mock tests, so on and so forth. This is broadly about CFA. If anybody has any question, I'm more than happy to take them at this point and answer. Please type the questions and I will respond. Rather than people, using their mics to ask questions. So please, ask the questions in chat box. Anything about the CFA program, I'm more than happy to respond. I'll wait for a couple of minutes and then I will move to the actual workshop, which is about, fundamentals of technical analysis. This is how I actually teach in my class. So I also teach a topic called portfolio management in the class. So technical analysis is part of that. I teach that. So there is a question: any exemptions for CA, CMA, any level of CFA? Absolutely no. There are no exemptions anywhere. It is 100% non-exemption stuff. Then I'm in 3rd semester. Now can I start studying for CFA? Absolutely. If you register, if you start preparing now, you can write your exams by the time you're in 5th semester. So my suggestion typically is you require roughly about 300 hours of preparation, which will probably take about 6 to 8 months, depending on the level you are. So I would always suggest that, first go ahead, take a passport, valid international passport, because that is the first requirement for registering in the CFA exam or the CFA portal. And then you register there, then you can keep a check of the dates that are relevant for examination, and then you can apply for the exam. And before that, you have to take coaching. Okay. Now, second, how many hours of self-study is required? So we provide, so this is a question by VS. How many hours of self-study is required to clear CFA level 1 apart from coaching? Apart from coaching, another 150 hours, VS. So we provide coaching for 120 to 150 hours. You have to study, self-study 150 hours. So do we learn about mutual funds in CFA? Rukmini has asked me. Yes, you will learn about mutual funds. Then Suhail has asked, sir, my CA final is due in May 25. When should I target level 1? So my suggestion is, either do November in case you have the resources to try now, or please do it after your CA final. My suggestion would be try it in August rather than May, because you will have time to study. Is it advisable for CA students to study SFM first and then crack CFA? Not necessarily, Dinesh Kamath. You can do both together also, because there is a lot of stuff that is common. You can do both together. Manish Jha, will recordings be available? Yes, we provide recorded classes with live revision as well. And the recording for this particular session also, I think we are doing that recording. Just hold on, I'll just check for that. Yeah, this recording is also happening. So if you want, send us an email to support@indigolearn.com and we'll send you the recording. Then Mr. Deepak Rana is asking, I work in nationalized bank, have 10 years of experience. I'm interested in finance, whether it is correct to choose CFA to add value to my profile. Yes, Mr. Deepak Rana, it will add value. Sir, is CFA completely about stock market by Tarun Kumar? No, it is not about stock market. It is about financial markets. So financial markets have stock markets, currency markets, debt market, real estate market. So there are a variety of markets. You learn about all of them. Ashwath Narayan, how does CFA differ from CA? And does it add value to CA if we choose finance as a career? Absolutely. CA is more about accounting and bookkeeping and related aspects, income tax and GST and law, whereas CFA is purely about finance. CA has only one subject called SFM. CFA entire subject is SFM. So Yashwant says, sir, please share this PDF. You send an email to support@indigolearn.com, Yashwant, and we shall share the PDF. Dinesh Kamath, sir, how do we contact you for the course after this? Please send an email to support or call us at this number. I will tell you one number. You can type that, you can type at that number, 9640123455 once and a 0. You can call on this number and my team will be available. Please don't call today night or tomorrow. Tomorrow is a Sunday. Call on Monday sometime and team will be available. But we will be available on WhatsApp today, tomorrow, every time. So on the same number, send a WhatsApp message and my team will reach out. If you want to talk to me, you first talk to my team, figure out all your doubts, and then you tell them why you want to talk to them. Can you please I think that was Netra. She had to mute herself. I muted her. So this is what it is. We have, these are the questions that I've got and I've answered. So what I'll do is now, I think we will move to the next part of the session, which is about technical analysis, which is the more interesting part of the session, honestly, if you ask me. Let us move there and see what is up there. So technical analysis. So before we actually go anywhere, right, I want to tell you two things. In stock markets or any markets, data, that is basically, numbers. Time duration of this session will probably go on for about 45-50 minutes, max to max, Manish. Okay, not beyond that, 45 to 50 minutes. Already we are 15-20 minutes over. So another half an hour max, Manish, not beyond that. Okay, just coming back, what is technical analysis? So a lot of markets present data. Right. So you have, stock prices that are available for every instant, every second. It is called tick, T-I-C-K, tick. So at every, you have, stock prices at tick level data. You have currency markets, the currency keeps changing. Rupee today is at 83, yesterday 82, tomorrow 84, like that. Every instant, every second, rupee prices change. Same way the index, Sensex or Nifty, their prices change. The same way you have, bonds, their prices change every day. So like that, there are a lot of markets have a lot of, securities which are traded. There is a lot of data. Now, technical analysis is basically analyzing this data, trying to look for patterns, using charts, using certain, metrics, trying to figure out how the direction of the market. That is what basically technical analysis is. Now, opposite of technical analysis is something called fundamental analysis. Fundamental means you study the balance sheet, you study the P&L, you study the ratios, and then you say, oh, this is a good company, bad company. What should I do? Should I buy the stock, sell the stock? Whereas that is fundamental. What is technical? Technical means you don't get into fundamental issues of how good the company is, bad the company is. You just have a look at the charts. You have a look at the patterns and then take decisions based on that. Now, there are people who are fans of technical analysis. There are people who are fans of fundamental analysis. Now, just moving on to the next slide. This is a very, very simple chart. Okay, so I've just drawn a chart of price of a specific stock over a period of time. Now you see it is one coming down. So every point, right? This is a point at which there was a data. Right now, you can have data points here, 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 here. So you can, the data points can be infinitely small. Right. So you can have multiple data points, but I have taken one set and drawn a data point. Now, based on this, what does it appear? Can anyone type based on this chart? What do you think is the direction of this data? Is it going up? Is it going down? What is the trend? Rukmini says it is going up. Absolutely. Bullish upward. Exactly. Now, that is because you are able to see it with your naked eye. You are able to see it with your naked eye that, the data is trending upwards. But that is a very, very simple way to look at it. Now, let us move to, this is called a simple line chart. Right. Now, let us move to the next one. This is called, this kind of a chart has certain additional points. So same data, what I showed in the previous one, same data point, but I've represented it differently. What am I doing? I am showing here one additional data point. What is this data point? That data point is basically the closing price. The data point is basically closing price. So it basically shows at what rate is the closing. So now you see here the closing price is at the top. So this is the range at which data is there. This is the low, this is the high. This is the low, this is the high. And the closing price is at the high. right? Like that, you're able to see certain things and say, oh, every day the closing price is moving higher. So here also you see the closing price is moving higher. So the market is closing at the higher end of its day's range. So you remember mean, median, mode, and all of that. So all the data, logarithms, standard deviation, everything comes into, when you study stock markets. Now, when you create charts, when you create, data, when you look at data, you should be able to figure out, oh, the data is throwing me certain trends or certain waves or certain, certain key indicators. Should be able to take a decision based on that. Now, let us move to the next chart. What is this next chart? This is the same data shown in a different manner. This is called Japanese candlestick. So it is called Japanese candlestick, CANDLE candlestick, STICK. Now, in this, the way to look at this data is, if a bar is empty, then the closing price is higher than the opening price. If a bar is empty, means closing price is higher than the opening price. And if a bar is full, closing price is lower than the opening price. Okay, black means closing is lower than opening. Fully white means closing is higher than opening. So whenever you see full white charts, white bars, basically the stock is going up. Whenever you see these black bars, today morning it opened at 100, evening it closed at 90. Next day, it will obviously open at 80 only. So that is what has happened, right? So like this. So if you look at this data, it basically indicates that it indicates not only the range. So this particular, let me clear this. Yeah. So this particular entire line indicates the range of data. And this box, right, indicates the difference between the opening and closing. And it indicates if the box is white, then it basically means that the closing is higher than opening. Whereas if the box is black, then it means that the closing is lower than the opening. Okay. If you see a Japanese candlestick chart or candle bar, or people call it different names. If you see something with fully only white boxes, it basically means that the stock is on a higher upward trend. Why? Because the closing price is consistently higher than the opening price. Okay. So that is one aspect. Now, this is one. We have looked at three kinds of charts for the same data point. Manish, what about the size of the triangle? I told that is a range of the opening and closing. The range of high and low, I'm sorry. So 1 minute, I'll tell you. This bar indicates the high and the low. This box indicates opening and closing. So if this box indicates, basically the size of the box indicates gap between opening and closing. Okay, let us move forward. Now, next we come to something called as a heads and shoulders pattern. Okay, so these two are shoulders and this is a head. Okay, so heads and shoulders pattern, and we have basically a resistance level or a support level here. This is a heads and shoulders pattern. Now, a heads and shoulders pattern, typically when this happens, the stock tends to move down. It's a bearish sentiment. Now, a reverse heads and shoulders probably is a bullish sentiment, but a heads and shoulders is bearish sentiment. So this kind of data, when you see for any stock, let's say you see a heads and shoulders pattern where there is a strong support at the point at which the head ends and the shoulder starts, then you can be pretty much sure that the stock is going to go down. Now, what is the basis for coming up with such kind of logics? See, till previous one, we were only looking at data. We were just plotting data and saying that opening is high, closing is low, or whatever. Whereas, moment we come here in head and shoulder pattern, I am saying if there is a head and shoulder pattern, it means that the stock is going to move down. How can one come to such a conclusion? One can come to such a conclusion based on what has happened in the past. So apparently, whenever such a pattern has happened, then the stock has moved down. Now, but that is not logical, no? That is just by observation. How does observation get into technical analysis? So a technical analysis, a large portion of it is observation, but there is also a logic. The logic comes from something called as behavioral finance or behavioral economics. What is behavioral finance or behavioral economics is basically whenever there is a movement in stock prices, given let's say that, let's take that this is some HDFC stock or something like that. Whenever there is a movement in stock prices, and when this touches this low, right? Let me clear the screen again. Whenever there is this touches this low, what it basically means is that market fundamentally believes that this is a price below which HDFC stock cannot go. So whenever the market is falling, there is somebody coming here and buying. And whenever this buying happens, there is momentum in the market and the market is moving up. But this happened once. Then second time also it happened. Second time also it came and touched the lower level. But moment it touched the lower level, there is some investor who believed that this price is not right and he went and bought. Now, again, so it went up. Then why is this called as a bearish trend? Why will it fall down? Because what will happen is, the market is consistently telling the investor, see, my dear friend, so let us say this investor's name is X, who's buying, consistently buying. See, Mr. X, you are willing to buy, I understand. But then the stock is not valued so high, it has to go down. No, it is valued, so I will buy. Whenever you're pulling down the price, I will buy. Okay, you buy. So what he will do is, he will buy here, then he will buy here. Then he will realize that consistently the market is actually acting in a way which is giving me information that the stock is overvalued. So the stock cannot be bought. So he will stop buying. So at this level, X will say, 2 times it has told me not to buy, or 2 times it has fallen. So I'm pretty sure that, this is not the right way. So when it goes up, let me exit and let me not, buy again. And so what X will do is, he will go there at this peak, he will exit. And when it comes down, there is nobody to support it. So, and when I say X, don't think of X as an individual. Think of X as one set of large number of investors who are bullish, or large number of investors who make the buy decision. And think of people who are selling as someone who are bearish and who are making the sell decision. So the market is telling, and see, none of us have infinite money. Even Mr. Mukesh Ambani does not have infinite amount of money. Nobody has infinite amount of money, including Government of India. Of course, government can print money, that's an independent aspect. But in stock markets, nobody has infinite amount of money. So if the market is telling you something, let's say 100 people are saying that, don't buy, sell, don't buy, sell, the price is going to come down, and so on and so forth. Then the guy who's having this buy conviction, he also gets a doubt. All the people who are having this buy conviction do get a doubt. So so it basically, the way they behave is determined by the way the market, the way they behave determines the way in which the stock prices function. Now, somebody said, Dinesh Kamar, more the stock touches the support line, weaker the support becomes. Absolutely. But I wouldn't say that is always the case, because, there could be a case where it touches the support once and then goes away. Right. So it depends on different kinds of situations. So I would not say that for every time the more it touches, it is more bad for the stock. But you're largely right. But I don't think that is a very generic statement that we can make. Okay. This is something called as heads and shoulders pattern. Now, then we look at this. What is this? This is something called double bottom. Sorry. 1 second. It's not working. Just 1 second. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I'm sorry. So this is a double top. I'm sorry. I think I said double bottom. My bad. It is double top. So if you look at this, there is one top here. There is one top here. There are 2 tops. Whenever there are 2 tops, again, the stock price crashes. So this is also, again, observed phenomena. That whenever there are 2 tops, then the market is on a bearish trend. So like this, there are multiple patterns that can actually be seen in the market. And based on this pattern, see, again, one more thing you have to see. This is a Japanese candlestick chart or candle bar chart, whatever you call it. This greens is where closing is higher than opening. Red is where closing is lower than opening. But what is this bottom data? Entire bottom data. This bottom data is volume. Basically, it is volume. They show how much volume was there on that particular day. Whether it was so if you see here, on this day the stock price went up, and so hence the volume is also green. The day stock price goes down, the volume is also in red. So there was a lot of selling pressure or there's a lot of buying pressure. So that also is indicated by a single chart. So when you look at in technical analysis, when you're looking at multiple charts, you basically don't look at just one single factor, which way is the bar, which way is the chart, or which way is the direction or something. You look at again 7 or 8 things. One is volume. It is called price volume movement. What happened at volumes? Was there a lot of buying pressure? Was there a lot of selling pressure? So you try and analyze such kind of data as well. Right. Now let us move to the next one. Let us move to the next one. This is called double bottom. This is called double bottom. So I have drawn a red line here. Please look at it carefully. So there is one bottom here, then there is another bottom here, and then it is moved up. Okay, so this is ulta of our head and shoulders kind of a thing, or a double top kind of a thing. It is when there is double bottom, then there is a lot of buying interest in the stock. So that is exactly how the stock moves. Now here also you see again, you don't see just, so there is a RSI, relative strength index. RSI is one more basically metric which they compute and to evaluate what is the strength of the stock, whether it is on a buying trend or a selling trend, bullish trend or a bearish trend, so on and so forth. And you also see certain other things. So you see here, there is a line and then there is a line here. And there are 3 lines, one green line, one blue line, and one black line. What are these 3 lines? So the green line, so one of those lines, I don't know which one is what. One of those lines is a 50-day moving average. One of them is a 100-day moving average. One of them is a 200-day moving average. So you have, if you remember in statistics at some point of time in your class 11, 12, or when you're pursuing your undergraduate degree or professional degree anywhere, you would have learned of something called moving average. How to compute moving average, 5-day moving average, 4-day moving average. So you're computing those moving averages here. And you're seeing how is the stock behaving when compared to the moving average. Is stock above the moving average or below the moving average? So you look at data which is relative strength index, what I told you. You look at these chart patterns, you look at these candle bars, then you look at the range within which it is operating, then you look at moving average. You look at so many data points before you take a decision. It is not, one chart is there, suddenly, you see some movement and then you invest money and you make money. No, it does not work that way. You have to look at multiplicity or rather multiple things and then take decisions. Okay, this is one kind of chart. Then this is basically something called as a channel. This is something called as a channel. What is a channel? So basically it is operating within. So what's a channel? A channel means if you look at curtain channel, curtain rods, or when they call them the sliding door channel and all that. What is a channel? Channel means a straight 2 pieces which are arranged in iron or steel beside each other, channel, and water flow, or something moves within that. Even water channels, that is how we call it. So the stock is moving within this channel. So you can safely say that as long as the stock is within this range, it is only moving up. Moment stock comes out of this range, significantly falls out of this channel, then probably it may be a downturn, upturn, whatever it is. But it is moving in a certain direction, aram se, slowly, carefully, over a period of time. You see here, this is July 20 to September 21. So this is one stock. I don't know which stock this is. This is Nifty Small Cap 100. Okay, NSE Nifty Small Cap 100. So that index is basically aram se, coolly moved in a range. And this line, blue color line in center is broadly the trend. And these two are 1 standard deviation or 2 standard deviations away from the trend. Okay, so that is broadly one chart that you can look at. Then we have another chart. This particular chart is called as a triangle. This chart is called as a triangle. So in case of a triangle, right, this you see, let me see. So the stock is moving like this. Then the stock is moving like this. Okay, and it has formed a triangle. So there are people in market who look at triangles. In fact, there are a bunch of triangles. I mean, there are names also given. I'll just tell you the really fun to fancy names that are there for these kind of triangles. You have something called as a symmetric triangle, ascending triangle, descending triangle. So in our case, this is a descending triangle. So basically, this is where, the price is becoming narrow and narrow and narrow, and, it is actually converging. So a descending triangle is basically bearish in trend. So, and then you have something called as flags and pendants. We'll come to that also. So this triangle denotes which way the stock could probably move. And how have they got to know it? They have seen past data. They've seen a lot of past data. And whenever this has happened, the stock prices followed a certain logic, a certain trend. Okay. And you see here below that, there is volume. This is the RSI, relative strength index. And this is moving average convergence divergence, MACD. This is called MACD. I will not get into details of this because it's a very introductory class. Moving average convergence divergence. This is also one more metric. So see, you basically create multiple metrics. So you have what? You have what are the kind of actions one can do? Multiplication, subtraction, addition, division, power. With these actions, you look at price points, and then you keep doing multiple things. A plus B, yesterday's minus today's, today's plus yesterday's, last 4 days average, last 5 days average, 4 days average minus 3 days average, like that. You come up with, or people have come up with multiple combinations like that to figure out, which one of them is the most accurate predictor of price movement. So I'm repeat. People have done multiple operations with numbers. Basically, numbers here being stock prices or percentage of change in stock price. And to that, they have done multiple actions like plus, minus, add, divide, log, exponent, all of that, and figured out which of those actions, when they do, will give them a best predictor of stock price movement. They have used this on past data. Based on past data, they are saying that in future also it will happen like that. So the fundamental issue with technical analysis is it has happened so in the past. There is a pattern, there is a trend, there is a chart, and therefore it will happen in the future. That is the logic. That is the fundamental. Now you do, and if you ask me, no, but why should a triangle only happen? Will there not be a square? Will there not be a rhombus? Will there not be a parallelogram? These are all very logical questions. But here, what we are talking about is, this is an inferred mechanism. This is not a discovery. This is a discovery mechanism, not an invention mechanism. We are not trying to say, if there is a rhombus, something will happen. First of all, how you will draw rhombus, I don't know. But you are trying to say, historically, a triangle has happened, and hence so something is happening. All right, which is what you need to remember in this entire whole technical analysis aspect. Now, this is another interesting one. This is called as a flag. This is called as a flag. Now, flags also are of 2-3 types: upward flag and downward flag. And here the trend is temporary. Flags are basically temporary, and your downward flag is basically a bullish trend. So you see here, it is bullish. It is all green. So the stock price is going up. Flag and pole pattern. Yes, Tanuj Sharma, there are a bunch of patterns. There are various names. Okay, there are multiple names, and I honestly speaking, no, we won't even. I don't even know the number of kinds of patterns that exist. There are hundreds, thousands of patterns that people have discovered, and they have figured out how they have price impact. Right. So a flag, basically a downward flag, is basically bullish trend. Okay. This is one particular pattern. Then you have something called as this is called as a pendant. This is called as a pendant, I think. 1 second. Pennant. P-E-N-N-A-T. I always forget the name. That is what is my problem. That is why I was checking. Pennant. So if you look at this pennant, right? So it is like a flag, but the flag has a rectangle. Flag has a rectangle, but a pennant has a triangle. So it is like a flag, but flag has a rectangle, but a pennant, P-E-N-N-A-T, pennant has a rectangle. And pennant also, there are types. So pennant also, they can be narrow, they can be wide, and they can be sharply collapsing. So there are a variety of types there. And so what a pennant basically says is, in a pennant, if this is the direction in which it is moving, initial direction in which it is moving in a pennant, the subsequent direction also will be that only. So if the initial direction is upwards, so pennant can be downward also. So if initial direction is upwards, then this basically indicates a bullish trend. Okay, here also you see this is volume, this is RSI, this is MACD. Okay, like that, there are a bunch of metrics that you look at and take decisions. Technical analysis is never an isolated decision-making tool. It's a combined, you look at multiple things and take a decision tool. So these are brief charts I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to go into depth of everything because it's just an introductory class. Now, this is my favorite, meme that goes on charting techniques. There are a lot of memes. Okay, this is my favorite meme. So there's a guy who's looking out of the window and saying snow is falling. Snow is falling, sell snow. Snow is falling. So he basically is talking about the snow from the, which is falling from sky onto the road or floor or whatever. Other guy who's a trader hears that, the stock called snow is falling. So sell, sell, sell. And then there is a guy who hears called only sell. So he starts selling. So this is a meme. The reason for this basically meme is technical analysis, and people make fun of technical analysis because it is not an exact science. It is just empirical evidence from past. There is no logic to it. There is only evidence of history history mein this happened. So hence it will happen. So which is why people say, and I said it is very clearly behavioral finance or behavioral economics. So people make fun of this particular thing, saying that this is just market trends, and it is market herd mentality, HERD, herd. So whichever way the market is moving, some idiot will say snow is falling. They will think sell a company called Snow Limited, and then everybody will say sell everything. Okay. Then there is one more meme. So this is again one of my favorites. When you say head and shoulders, normal people think of shampoo, whereas traders think of head and shoulders pattern. Okay, traders think of head and shoulders. So you go to any stock market person and say head and shoulders, if they will not think of head and shoulders shampoo, they will think of only head and shoulders pattern in charts. Guarantee. This is 100% guarantee. Then this is one chart, one child had created. You can draw any pattern anywhere, anything, draw hundreds and thousands of lines and claim that there is a chart, right? So it is this is all just for fun. Okay. Then somebody created a dinosaur chart. Bitcoin apparently is moving like this. The pattern resembles a dinosaur. Okay, so this is how people make fun of chartists. But again, honestly, there is actually a course called certified technical analyst or something like that. It's a very, very interesting course, and it's a proper professional course, by the way. Right. This is the final one, which is my favorite. So what basically happens is, first guy says, I have got a stock here that could really excel. When he says excel, somebody says, oh, really excel. Third guy hears it as excel. Then the next guy hears as sell. So the next guy here says, everybody's talking about sell. So they start selling like mad people. When they're selling like mad people, one guy says, this is too much. I'm going goodbye. Somebody else hears it as buy. Another guy hears that buy, BUY buy. And finally, one more guy hears that buy. So market works in this kind of herd mentality or irrational behavior is what a lot of people make fun of it. This is very, very specific to technical people or chartists. This is very, very specific to technical people or chartists. You were asking me any insights on CMT exam, Certified Market Technician. This is what I was referring to, Dinesh Kamar. I have not gone through the syllabus, but whatever I have heard from people, it's a very interesting course. I've neither seen the syllabus nor I have seen the people who are doing it. I know only one or two people who said that it's very interesting. The syllabus is very interesting. Okay, but beyond that, I don't know. Must be a good course. It is done by, I think, some institute based out of India. If I'm not wrong, Mumbai, they have an office. It's a decent course. Fine, fair enough. So these are the stuff around the charts and how markets behave. Please, ask any questions that you have. There are people who are asking. Do technical analysis for short-term investment and fundamental for long-term? Very good point, Anirvedh Rahat Gaonkar. Technical analysis is typically short-term. Fundamental analysis is typically long-term. However, a good investment manager always, when they make a buy decision or a sell decision, they will look at both fundamentals and technicals. Even if it is long-term or short-term, they will at least have a look at both. Okay, so that is one aspect. Then do financial website give these type of trends ready for use on subscription basis? Yes. There are a lot of websites, investing.com. There are some quite a few websites which actually give you these kind of charts. There are quite a few websites will give. Next is Manish Jha, positional trading and swing trading. I don't want to get into that, Manish Jha, because again, we will get into a very different, I know it is related to this, but I don't think we have budgeted time for all of that. I said 40-45 minutes, and I think we're already at 8:45. I would want to leave some time for questions. Probably sometime later, I will, handle these issues. But for now, I want to see other people also asking questions on subject, on CFA, on technical analysis, and so on and so forth. Because if I get into that momentum or positional and swing and all of that, it is going to take time. Dinesh Kamath, what are you saying? Recommended indicators available on free version, okay, of TradingView. See, obviously it is free version, so they will give you free stuff. Guys, one point I want to highlight, I fundamentally am a long-term investor. Okay, I don't look at technicals and invest. I look at basic technicals. Beyond that, I don't look at technicals. The reason why I don't look at technicals is I fundamentally believe that we have to understand the management, we have to understand business, and then make an investment. That is my style. So I actually don't even spend a lot of time doing technicals. Very, very basic stuff is what I see. Okay, so if you ask me if there is a free version in TradingView has all indicators or not, I really do not know. Whatever is there in free version, I use it and then make my investment decisions. Okay, in fact, a lot of my investments are SIP in Nifty index fund. I actually don't even buy on stocks. I actually buy only Nifty index SIP because I just don't have time to do research. Because most of my time, most of the people, so unless you are in full-time trading, all of these technical analysis, fundamental analysis don't make any sense. If you are a pure, part-time, every day you want to invest something, best is SIP. People may not like what I'm saying, but historically it has been seen that SIP or give the money to an active fund manager who knows how to manage, they will manage. Okay. Does CFA cover technical analysis? Parth Patel, very, very briefly, Parth. It does not go into depth. It covers briefly only. It is not the primary thing that they teach you in CFA. CFA is more about portfolio management, various asset classes like currency, equity, debt, stock market, so on and so forth. It's also about how to make investment decisions and so on and so forth. So technical analysis is part of it. It is not the major thing. And the part is also fairly small part. It is not a very intensive part. Yashwant, CFA is mostly into technical analysis. No, Yashwant, that is not correct. There are a lot of topics which are there in CFA. Technical analysis, in fact, in level 1 is not even 10 pages out of 1,000 pages of content. Manish Jha, what areas topic should I cover to become a good trader? I think you should do that, certified market technician. That is one course I think you should do. You should be good in math. You should be good in statistics, and you should be good in charting. You should have access to a good charting tool. And then more important than all of these, there are some people on Twitter. Be very, very careful of whom you follow on Twitter, because everybody says that, they know the world. I typically don't believe that, because everybody is there is actually a SEBI report which came out, which says that, more than 60% or so of the people who were doing day trading lost. And the average loss was some 50,000 or 1 lakh, something like that. So I would be very, very wary of, following anybody on Twitter and taking decisions. However, follow them to understand what they're talking. But decision, please do your own research. What areas, topics I should cover to become, I discussed. Is CFA good for building a career in private equity? Absolutely, Dinesh Karthik. For private equity, my strong suggestion is have a CA or an MBA with CFA. That will be the real, value add. Where you will actually be considered for good PE jobs. Then Manish Jha, does valuation have any role in trading? Yes, valuations have a role, but then if you're a day trader, you ignore valuations. Valuations are largely fundamental related. There's no point talking about valuations when you're talking about technical analysis. Technical is ignore everything. Just look at the chart. Dinesh Kamath, and for management consulting, yes, for management consulting also CFA is a very good thing. But what tends to happen is if you're a management consulting role, you have to get out of a good B school. And when you're getting into a B school, you have to be in the top 10-15% of the batch to get into management consulting. So doing just a CA, CFA, unless you are all India first ranker in CA, typically you will, or top 3 ranker in CA, you will very difficult to get into management consulting with just a CFA degree. Opportunities in India for CFA as compared to CA. See, honestly speaking, opportunities are more for CA, but then what is the value of the opportunity also you should understand. See, CA CAs get placed from 3 lakhs to 20 lakhs also. Okay, but CFAs typically salaries are much higher. And most of the stock market related folks actually do hire people from CFA. Can we manage both CFA and CA final? Angila Dalal, yes, you can manage. In fact, if you're preparing for SFM, roughly about 30% of the CFA level 1 syllabus is covered. You should not be worried about it at all, especially derivatives, then portfolio management, and a bunch of financial statement analysis. All those topics are already covered. Easily 30 to 40% is covered. You need not worry about it. To work in corporate finance, is CFA helps? Ashwath Natarajan, yes, it does help. because CFA is a lot more about how to value people, or value assets, how to value stocks, how to value real estate, how to value a variety of financial instruments. And so in corporate finance team of a large corporate or corporate finance function in a iBank, you basically are into valuation, so CFA helps. Is CFA worth for auditor? Suhail is asking, is CFA worth for an auditor? If your profession is auditing, I don't think CFA has any use. Okay, if your basic profession is an auditor, CFA is waste of time. However, CFA has one use. If you want to make personal investments in stock markets, then I would strongly suggest do a CFA. If you have time, energy, money, and effort, you can put in the effort. I would always suggest do CFA because the knowledge that you get on markets is phenomenal. I mean, CA does not give you that knowledge. I'm very honest. See, I've done CA, I've done CFA, and I'm also an ISB Hyderabad graduate, MBA from a top B school. Believe me, the knowledge on finance that CFA gives you is unparalleled. Okay. In CFA, training is required or not, where we have to get training in that course. So, Anirved Rahat Gaonkar, so training means there is no, so if you're thinking of something like CA articleship or something like that, there is no CA articleship or anything like that, Anirved. What is required is after you finish or during the course of pursuing CFA, you have to work for 4 years in an area that is related to CFA, in a bank, in an investment bank, in a stock market broker, an equity research firm, in a PE firm, in a VC firm, in a currency desk or something like that. You have to work, or in valuations team, or in M&A team, or in debt markets. You have to work somewhere like that, so that they will give you a charter. That's all. There is no training required. However, training or coaching is definitely required for you to write the exam, because I fundamentally believe that when you study just from the book, you may not understand the practical aspects. We at Indigo Learn, specifically we at OneFin Indigo Learn, we get the faculty who are experts in their area. So I always think that you should take coaching for that knowledge. Sir, what is mandatory 4,000 hours which is required to become a charter holder? The CA articleship of 2 years count. So I just explained that mandatory 4,000 hours, which is you have to work in a relevant area. CA articleship does not count unless, of course, your CA articleship was in a valuation team of your CA firm. Sir, will CFA help in managing personal finance excellently? Absolutely. In fact, after CFA only, I decided that we should allow management of money as a full-time task to somebody. I should not be, even though I'm a CFA, I don't mind manage my own money, because I can't spend morning to evening time in managing my money. I don't have so much money that I need to manage. So if I have small money, best to give it to the experts who will manage it. So CFA actually tells you that, how you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to do, what is the process involved. With the 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs, all that will not work. It doesn't make any sense. Right. So after CFA, I realized that it is best to give my this thing to somebody who can manage it very well. Does it help in corporate restructuring and debt restructuring? Yes, it does help in corporate restructuring, but it depends again, Manish Jha. If corporate restructuring and debt restructuring, if those aspects are more related to legal aspects or accounting aspects, no, because see, corporate restructuring also is in multiple area. It is just not a single thing. If you're looking from the top, then yes, CFA helps. But let's say if you're an executing person who's working on documentation or something, then CFA will not help. But from an overall perspective of what is the impact of this restructuring, how is this going to help the stock, how is this going to help the companies, financials? Yes, it definitely helps. Do you have to compulsorily work for 4 years after qualifying all levels of CFA? You need not work. If you don't work, you will not get the charter, but you will be valued, called as a CFA level 3 pass candidate, which is as good as getting a charter. It doesn't matter. The charter is just a nomenclature. So by the way, I have finished my CA in 2004. I have still not taken membership. If somebody asks me, are you a CA? I will say, technically, I'm not CA, but then I've been doing all CA related work for a good time. So same way, if you're not a charter holder also, it doesn't matter. As long as you finished all 3 levels, it is good enough for an employer to consider you as a CFA candidate. Is there any international taxation in CFA? No, man. There is some basic mention here and there, but there's no international taxation in CFA, Dinesh Karthik. Whether CFA can practice like CA or should go for employment only. So if you do CFA, right, one thing is obviously, you can join employment. If you want to do practice, you can actually become a wealth manager. So there are a lot of people who do this portfolio management services, who do the management of money for others and all that, who become financial planners, who become wealth managers. You can set up your own wealth management or financial planning firm and then do it. That is what CFA will help you. Right. So guys, I think I have answered a lot of questions. It was a very, very interesting session. A lot of questions were asked, and a lot of you came out on a Saturday evening to spend time to know more about technical analysis, to know more about CFA, to know more about OneFin. So thanks a lot. Please visit our website onefin.in/CFA, where you can enroll in the course or where you can know more about the course, or call us at 9640-111110. Okay. All the very best. Thanks a lot. Can you give me mail or WhatsApp if I have any doubt? So you can WhatsApp on this number, Manish Jha, 9640-111-1110. We will be able to respond. To be a charter holder, we should pay annual fees. Yes, I pay roughly a fees of 10,000 rupees to be a charter holder. Every year I pay 10,000 bucks. But then once you're earning, no, all the 10,000 doesn't matter. The value that you get from that 10,000 is far more. So I get to meet a lot of senior people. There are frequent events that CFA Institute conducts, and these are not like average events. You get very, 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 very high quality people. So the 10,000 bucks is not at all a matter of concern. Okay, fair enough, guys. All the very best. Thanks a lot. Enjoy your weekend, and do reach out to us at these numbers. This is our website, onefin.in/CFA. And you can WhatsApp us at 9640-111110 or call us. Okay. All the best. Good night and see you.